What's up, everybody? I'm Finn McKenty. This is the Punk Rock MBA. A lot of people find themselves in a situation where they've got this dream, they've got this goal of getting paid to do what they love and or starting a business, but they never do it because they aren't sure how to get started. They don't know how to get from A to B. So they've got this goal, but they aren't sure what the first step actually is. I found myself in that situation, well, a couple times in my life, but especially a couple years ago, and I wanted to talk about the thing that kind of got me over that hump and made me understand that the first step is really simple. It's just to fucking do it. So a couple years ago, I had this goal of starting some kind of an online business, selling some kind of product that would give me like passive income, not necessarily to be like my full-time job or anything like that, but just enough to, maybe a couple $100 a month or something like that. I was inspired by what some people I knew, like my friend Graham Cochran from the Recording Revolution, some other people like that had done. Just wanted to have this little side hustle going on, but I didn't know where to start. I'd sold stuff online before for other people, but I'd never done it for myself. And I was like, well, I don't know enough. And so this is the situation that I think a lot of people like me, because I'm a fucking nerd, that we find ourselves in, which is we think that the answer to getting started is more research, like reading more books, or there's got to be some secret piece of knowledge, some secret technique out there that if only I learn that, that's going to be the key that unlocks this whole thing, and then I'm going to start this thing, and then everything's going to be great. All I have to, but I can't start until I learn more. I have to go do some more research. I got to read more books. I got to read more blog articles. Like there's some secret piece of knowledge out there that I don't have, and once I have that knowledge, then everything's going to be different. That is bullshit. This is a little spoiler warning. That's not true. Yes, there are some things you need to learn, but the magic ingredient really is just to fucking start doing it. You're going to make some mistakes, but by making those mistakes, you're going to learn what the right way to do it is. I wanted to share a little story about when I was confronted with that, slapped in the face with that, and made me realize how fucking stupid I actually am. That happened a couple years ago, maybe about a year and a half ago, I guess it was. I went to this convention called Funnel Hacking Live with my friends A.L. Levy, Joey Sturgis, and Joel Wanasek, the guys from URM Academy, which I'm the director of marketing at URM Academy. Went there because we use this software. The convention's called Funnel Hacking Live. It's put on by the people that make ClickFunnels, which is a piece of marketing software that we use all the time. There's this awesome community around ClickFunnels, and so we said, hey, let's go to their convention, check it out, see what it's all about. So at the time, I was working at a startup called Creative Live, which is like, it's a Silicon Valley startup with some very smart people there, a lot of engineers. So, I'm not an engineer, but my brain kind of works like one. So I kind of look at things the same way that the engineers I did at Creative Live did. So they're very technical. So the way they look at marketing is, spreadsheets, and, we've got data scientists and all that stuff. And I thought that the answer to starting my online business was to learn more of that stuff. I already knew, a pretty fair amount, but I thought I needed to learn more. I thought that was the answer. I thought that at this ClickFunnels convention, it's like, well, these guys, the guys and girls presenting at this thing, they're all these internet millionaires. They've got to be so much better at this shit than I am. Like, I'm going to go there and they are going to blow my motherfucking mind with all these knowledge bombs. They're going to show me all this shit that I didn't know what to expect, but I thought they were just gonna blow my fucking mind with some of this like really sophisticated technical shit that I didn't know. And after they showed me that technical shit, that I'd go, wow, finally, I can fucking do it. Finally, I know the secret knowledge and the door is open to me and I can do this thing. Turns out I was very, very wrong. I'll tell you what happened. The people who spoke at ClickFunnels, it was very inspirational to me, but I think not for the reasons that they necessarily expected. With all due respect to the ClickFunnels people, I absolutely love that community. I love the software. I love everyone involved with it. What I realized from watching these guys and girls present, their level of sophistication on this stuff is very low. So if you know about any of this stuff, you'll know that there's words like churn and retention and cost per acquisition and cohorts and stuff like that. They don't know any of that shit. Like, there was a guy up there, I know who he is. He's a multimillionaire. He's rich as fuck. He went up there and did a presentation where he confused churn and retention. So churn is if you have a subscription business. Churn is the number of people who leave every month, and retention is the number of people who stay. So churn is bad and retention is good. You want people to stay, you do not want people to leave, so you don't want churn. He got up there and he said, I'm going to increase your churn by 97%, which is really bad because what he's saying is, I will make 97% of your customers leave every month. He meant retention. And the same guy, a couple other guys, like they would just make these extremely basic like math mistakes, like getting the signs wrong, divide a positive number by a negative number and end up with a positive number, which is not how it works. Like it's a negative number. So point is, like, without getting like super nerdy and technical about this stuff, I realized that their level of sophistication was very low. I was expecting them to blow my mind with all this technical knowledge that they had and I didn't. Could not be further from the truth. Like, I was like, to Joey, who's one of my business partners, super fucking smart guy. It's like, dude, Joey, I think we know more technical, and he was kind of thinking the same thing about this. It's like, I think we know more technical shit than anybody else in this room, which was kind of funny because, both of us were kind of in the same boat of thinking that there was all this technical stuff that we didn't know and we needed to know. So what I realized is, and again, like I said, the people up there, even though they made all these like, kind of basic mistakes and revealed that there's a lot of stuff they don't know, what I realized is that maybe I was the stupid one and they're the smart one, even though I might know more about the technical stuff, about the math stuff than they do. The difference between them and me is that they fucking did it and I didn't. I was sitting around, researching, reading blog articles, getting these books. Like, I was sitting there thinking that I needed to learn more. I needed to like go be in the cave and get more secret knowledge, and they fucking did it. That is the magic ingredient. If you're wondering, that's what made me realize the magic ingredient is, yes, there are some things you need to learn for sure. Like, you shouldn't just jump blindly into it, but it made me realize that what you need to do, you learn the basics, the very, very, very basics, and that's it. And then you just fucking jump in and you start doing it. And you are going to make mistakes. You are going to fuck some things up, but by fucking them up, by making those mistakes, that is how you're going to learn how to do things the right way. They understood this, and I didn't. And actually, you don't necessarily ever even have to learn the right way to do things. Like, you can do things the wrong way and it might still work, Like, it might not be fully optimized. You might not be running your business in the optimal way, but who cares? Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to make you money, right? And so I went back. At the time, I still had a day job. I went back to Creative Live, and I was talking to one of my bosses about it. I told him about it. I was like, man, these people, it was like I was blown away because these people were not very sophisticated. They don't know half as much as like our engineers do or even as I do about this stuff, but they're rich. And he was like, this is like sounds like such an obvious thing to say, but he was like, well, yeah, you don't have to be smart to get rich. And I was like, fuck. Like, nobody's ever really just put it to me that way, but it's totally true. So that's the takeaway of this video. If you are one of these people who has a goal of getting paid to do what you love, of starting a business, whatever it is, like, yes, do your research, but don't fucking get stuck in this. If you're like me, if you're a nerd, don't get stuck in this cycle of like planning, researching. Well, if I'm just gonna read this one book, then I'm gonna do it. Oh, well, actually, no, I'm gonna read this one more book, then I'm gonna do it. Or, well, I just need to learn this one more thing. Don't get out of that cycle. Just start fucking doing it. Make some mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and then eventually that you're gonna figure this out, and eventually it's all gonna come together. But the way it's gonna come together is not by sticking your nose in 10 more books. The way that it's gonna come together is that you're gonna get out there and fucking do it. So that's it for today. I'm signing off. This is Finn McKenty. This is the Punk Rock MBA. If you found this video helpful, I would love it if you would like, share, subscribe, tag a friend, leave a comment, share it, like, do whatever you can to help spread the word. And also, yeah, I'm just going to sign off. I was going to say something else, but I'm not going to. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.